What's up everyone, Kaiju no Kami here, and I figured that with this being the final Friday of 2018, it would only be fitting to review Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. Of course, as we all know that when it comes to horror movies, if you have final in your title, it's just the first of many, many more. Hell, I'm still waiting to play the actual Final Fantasy. After the abysmal results of Jason Takes Manhattan, Paramount was finally ready to leave Jason dead from the toxic waste that reverted him back to a child in the sewers of New York City. This in turn led series creator Sean S Cunningham buying the rights to the franchise back and selling them to New Line Cinema, a studio who had long success thanks to Freddy Krueger and the Nightmare on Elm Street series, with the intention of doing a crossover film that pit the two monsters against each other. However, before they could do this, New Line felt they needed to have a standalone Friday film first, and in doing so, completely ignored the events of Jason Takes Manhattan and hired Adam Marcus to direct the pile of shit they deemed Jason Goes to Hell. Of course, to the director with two first names, he is proud of the movie he made. He is proud of this iteration of Jason and the convoluted mythos he created. Maybe I'm looking at this movie the wrong way. I mean, it is possible, right? Maybe it's not actually crap and it's actually a really well thought out masterpiece in there? Let's give it a second whirl by taking a look at the 9 lives of Jason Voorhees. Our movie kicks off with a lone woman arriving in Camp Crystal Lake for some reason. Everything that could go wrong does go wrong for her. In time, Jason emerges from the shadows ready to kill our poor dummy, but first she is going to make him work for it by teleporting after her. Naturally, she falls to the ground and dies. Or not? Holy shit! They just blew Jason up with a rocket launcher. This is like the best goddamn Friday the 13th ever. They got straight to the point and blew him up. Wow, this is so cool. Well, movie's over, so the review's over. Good night, everybody. I am the Kaiju no Kami, and until next time, bye!
Is that him? Yeah, that's it.
Oh, there's more movie. Yay. Jason's remains are taken... I said Jason's remains are Jason's... Shut up! Thank you. Jason's remains are taken to a morgue where a coroner decides to have a hearty meal. Be still thy beating heart! Nom 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 nom. Ugh. Whatever floats your boat, dude. I don't have the heart to judge. This in turn means that Jason somehow possesses the coroner, who kills his co-worker and 2 guards. One played by Jason himself, Kane Hodder. From here, we are introduced to a bounty hunter by the name of Crichton Duke through a criminal news program overacted by the X-Files' Stephen Williams.
Duke invited us with the promise of a very unusual, very expensive proposition. And I think you'll agree, in typical Crichton Duke fashion, he gave us much more than we bargained for.
Clearly, he has been playing way too much Red Dead Redemption. What? He states that Jason is not dead and is willing to take him out if someone pays him.
There's only one way to put an end to him for all time. And I'm the only one that knows the way.
You say that as if you expect a round of applause.
Our next cast members to come into play is a waitress named Diana Kimball and her daughter's ex, Steve Freeman. They are played by Aaron Gray and John DeLeMay. Anyway, Crichton visits Diana requesting her help to get rid of Jason, spouting he knows who she really is, which leads her to telling Steve to meet her that night so she can explain it to him.
There's something you don't know about Jessica. Something that you should know. Come to my house tonight at 11. And don't be late.
On his way to her house, Steve picks up a couple of hitchhikers on their way to Camp Crystal Lake.
And on smoking a little dope, having a little premarital sex, and getting slaughtered.
Okay, that was pretty funny.
We're thinking about smoking some dope, having a little premarital sex, and not worry about getting slaughtered.
Wrong!
Not Jason kidnaps a police officer after killing his wife and takes him home to the Voorhees with only one old house to give him a shave? When did Jason become Sweeney Todd?
All right, you, sir, how about a shave? Come and visit your good friend Sweeney.
Afterwards, he possesses the cop and attacks Diana at home. He tries to lick her? Ugh. Steve rushes in to save her, only to epically fail. Naturally, he gets arrested for her death.
I don't believe that you murdered Diana, no. I don't know what happened.
Diana's daughter, Jessica, played by Carrie Keegan, returns home with her new boyfriend, the criminal news anchor, and the baby she had with Steve. They witness Steve being taken to his prison cell where the man meets with Crichton Duke, who offers him information in exchange for breaking his fingers.
Oh, fuck!
I'm an asshole.
Jason had a sister. Your girlfriend's mother, Diana.
Sister? What is this, Halloween? Steve breaks out of prison and heads to the Voorhees with 1-0 house to investigate when he comes across the Necronomicon.
What the hell?
That's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Jessica's new boyfriend emerges onto the scene, revealing how much of an asshole he is too.
I stole Diana's body, and I hid it here in the closet. And then I went home and fucked her daughter.
Not Jason 2.0 returns home to find the dickwad in his living room, proceeding to take over his body.
Help. Police. Murder.
He attacks Jessica back at her house, but she is rescued by Steve, only to knock him out and head to the police station to report his crime.
Fucking psycho, you killed my mother! You think I'd let you near my baby? Ow! Hey! I just saw Steven out of Lake Road! He killed Robert!
Steve is caught once more, arriving at the station just in time to save Jessica yet again from Not Jason III's vicious rampage. The two escape and head to the diner her mom worked at where her friend took their baby. Somehow, Not Jason III knew exactly where they would be and kills everyone without character shields. Jessica flees, leaving Steve to find a note from Crichton that states he took the child to the Voorhees with 1-0 house. Crichton reveals to Jessica that she must kill Jason using a magical dagger.
I do. Only through a Voorhees can he be reborn.
Demonic possession, magical daggers, and the Necronomicon. You know what I'm thinking of right now? You ever walked into like a dollar store or a bootleg store and you see those things that say like Justice League, but it's like Spider-Man, a Power Ranger, maybe a Batman version, and some other random figures like a Ninja Turtle? That's what I'm thinking with this movie. It's like it's supposed to be Friday the 13th, but more like a bootleg edition with random things from other movies added in here. Hell, it even has the crate from Creepshow in it. Just then, both the sheriff and another cop show up, with the latter turning out to be the next, not Jason. At least until the man is beaten so badly a baby demon flies from his body. Oh my god. Seriously? Steve asks a very important question.
Duke, that part about being reborn through a Voorhees woman, does it have to be a living woman?
That's a very specific question. Should I be concerned?
I stole Diana's body, and I hid it here in the closet.
I give you resurrection!
Oh yeah!
An evil copycat Gort is coming to Klaatu Barada Kikto our asses.
Jason kills Crichton.
Tonight, my friend, you will
Jessica!
die!
Steve attacks him while Jessica retrieves the dagger she dropped earlier. She stabs him. Jason is pulled down to hell.
That's all, folks.
You know, I was never allowed to watch these films when growing up as a kid. I knew who the characters were, though. I knew who Freddy was and who Jason was. So when one of my friends hyped up this whole segment of Freddy showing up to pull Jason into hell, as he described it, it sounded a lot cooler than what we actually got. My response when I finally saw this was, that's it? Though that describes this movie in a nutshell. I get what Adam Marcus and New Line were going for. This was the 9th movie in the franchise, a tired franchise at that. You've got to try something new. I really applaud them for attempting to do something different. Nevertheless, if you're going to do something different, don't make it boring. The opening of the film does show promise when they blow Jason up. It makes you wonder how the rest of the film is going to play out. When you see it, however, it's just so dumb. Making it so Jason suddenly has a sister doesn't make any sense since nothing was ever hinted at this aspect until now. Not to mention his sister would have to be pretty old by now, even if you take Jason Takes Manhattan out of existence. Though, I guess having a sister would have been fine had it actually been interesting. Also, when the hell did Jason suddenly become a demonic creature? Sure, he might have become a zombie in the last 3 films, but a demon from hell? No. Just no.
That's stupid! Really stupid.
It adds in way too many questions than there should be, especially with the Necronomicon being there, which I guess the director intentionally put there to say that Jason is a deadite, despite that completely contradicting what had been established before. If you're gonna add new lore, do your fucking research on the old one. The characters are no better. The only one who is somewhat intriguing is Crichton Duke, though that is more so due to Williams' over-the-top acting more than anything else. He seems to be the only character in the entire film that is trying to have fun. Everyone else is so deadpan serious and dry. It doesn't help that none of the characters are particularly likable, even Steve, as the man beats up his cop friend for the sake of it. He might have been going out of his way to try to save his family. Still, you don't be an asshole to your cop friends. Correction, that's not true, as one of the diner's employees seems like a likable guy. Of course, he's on screen for maybe 45 seconds, so his character is rendered irrelevant. If there is one positive I can give the film, it is in its special effects and makeup. At least for everything not revolving around the poorly edited death scenes where you can't tell if someone actually died or not. I may not like Jason being a monster, but the puppetry is masterfully crafted. In addition, the scene when the cop melts is quite exquisite. On the other hand, I don't like how Jason gained like 400 pounds, and the mask becoming a permanent fixture on his face is stupid. I would say it's totally illogical, however, this film is devoid of logic. Finally, Harry Manfredini returned after being completely absent in the last film to provide one of the most obnoxious scores of the franchise. I don't like it. None of the tracks grasp me other than wanting to pound my head against the wall with how annoying it is. No idea what happened here, but Manfredini failed quite spectacularly. Once all is said and done, I do have to give this movie some credit for trying something new. Nevertheless, like its title, this movie can go straight to hell. Just skip it, as it is hands down the worst Friday the 13th movie out there, and perhaps one of the worst horror movies ever made. Until next time, bye.